It's Monday, July the 6th, 2015, and I'm back at Chipping Ongar for another walk along the Essex Way, this time to Willingale. Now passing St Martin's Church, Chipping Ongar. After the church, the Essex Way heads along this enclosed path to a road. There's confirmation that we're on the Essex Way. We're also on the St Peter's Way, which goes to the coast Bradwell on Sea. I suspect we'll very soon be leaving the route of the St Peter's Way. And that's the way forward. Further along the path, good views opening up over to my right. Now heading between fields along the Essex Way. Now heading down on this clear path with wide open views ahead. Now heading along this path towards the crossing of the main A414 road. The path goes diagonally right across this field to the main road. We cross directly over the main road. Fortunately, we haven't got to walk along it. The Essex Way crosses directly over this road. After the second road, the Essex Way heads diagonally right across this field. Good views above. Now heading across this area, which is quite close to the River Roding. The Essex Way goes across this footbridge. Confirmation that we're on the Essex Way, which goes across this footbridge. We're actually on a path beside the River Roding now. The path by the river becomes a bit more open. The actual river seems to be really choked with vegetation. It's over to my right. Still heading along beside the River Roding, as you can see. Pretty choked with vegetation over to my right. There's a view into the River Roding where it's a bit clearer. And that's the way forward on the Essex Way beside the river. Approaching another footbridge to cross. Path is pretty clear. Still keeping ahead following the River Roding. At this point, the Essex Way crosses the River Roding over this bridge. Now heading away from the river along this sunken track, which is rather overgrown in places. Further on, the path's a bit clearer. The path becomes much wider. Now at the road at Cannons Green. The Essex Way leaves the road along this track on the right. Distant church bells ringing. The path becomes quite a pleasant hedge green track. Further on, the track opens out on the left. Now the path becomes more sunken again. We now come to this road which is on a bend. After a short distance along the road, the Essex Way turns right along this path to that gate in the distance there. Once through the gate, the Essex Way crosses this large field heading for Willingale. There's a view of the path ahead in the next field. The Essex Way now joins this road. The Essex Way leaves the road along this path, which immediately turns left over that footbridge. We now turn right down this path into a valley. Now heading up the other side of the valley on a wide track, heading straight for Willingale now. Near Willingale Church, which you can now see on the left, the Essex Way transfers to the other side of the hedge. The Essex Way goes through the churchyard in Willingale, and there's a better view of the church. And here's a view of the other church, for Willingale has two churches in one churchyard. And here's another view of the two churches. Well, I'm now in Willingale, and it's the end of today's walk along the Essex Way. Just to show you, the final end of the walk is just down the road at the bus shelter in Willingale, and there's a bus to Chelmsford due in a few minutes.